everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, I'm Gabby and I do a lot of videos about planning, organizing, creating your perfect morning routine that works for you even if you're not a morning person. I do a lot of vlogs, and in today's video I thought I would share with you something that is very dear and close to my heart: planning. I'm a big planner. I like organizing everything. Anyone who knows me knows that I have a ton of to-do lists everywhere on my phone, on notepads. I have a ton and a half of notepads. Like you can see right behind me, I already have like what, 3, because there's one underneath, and I have one with me with my notes. I just love knowing what I have to do and organizing. It makes me feel a bit calmer about the week ahead, making sure that I don't forget anything as well. It's a very simple process, but it's very effective, and I wanted to share that with you today so that you can organize better with me. And I feel like if you're very organized, you have more free time because you will know what you will have to do, and so you procrastinate a little bit less, but also organize in a way that is better for you. So I will be sharing with you my to-do lists, my online planner process, but also some organization tips. Let's jump right in. I've always been very organized, even like during my studies in middle school and high school, just so that I could stay on top of deadlines, because that freaked me out. The idea of missing a deadline and being told off for not having done it or having to do it the night before. I mean, it has happened. I do procrastinate sometimes, but some things are better planned in advance. And so I kind of built year after year a process for me to organize and to plan my weeks. I've learned what works for me, and I've learned how to do things so that my process is simple but works wonders for me to stay productive. I do have my own business, which means that it's like my priority for the week is working towards growing my business, but it's also important for me to include my creative outlets when I'm planning for my week. It's what's going to really bring me joy and feel calmer, and so I do make sure to incorporate them. So when I sit down and plan for the week ahead, what I start with is, do I have any appointments? Do I have anywhere that I really need to be this week? Meetings or things like that, just so that I can work around them and plan accordingly and don't forget them. If it's in my calendar, if it's in my planner, I know that I have to do that and I won't forget it. Also, I will be able to plan around it just so that I know what I have to do and I know when to do them. The second thing is deadlines. Do I have something that I need to send on that specific day at that specific hour? I know that I need to work towards achieving this project before needing to send it. I mean, procrastination can be a very real thing, and so knowing ahead that on that particular day I need this to be done, it really helps me to make sure that I organize it in my week. But also it helps you to create priorities. Having deadlines, you know that something needs to be done at that point, so that it's your priority to work on it in the previous days and make sure that it's done. Like I said, another thing that is important for me is my self-care, me time, the things that I do that will make me feel better, will make me feel more productive, and will at least make me feel a bit more awake, which is why those things I always do in the morning. I'm not a morning person. Like I said, I have a whole morning routine, kind of walking you through in real time my morning routine. I've changed it up throughout the past few months. I was doing something that was not working for me, and now I've really created a whole thing that really makes me feel more awake by the time I sit at my desk, but also make me happier and more productive throughout the day. I do start my day later, but I do feel amazing. So each day I do have the same kind of self-care things that I like, kind of rituals. So I start with going on a walk. I do a little bit of Pilates when I come back, and some journaling if I feel up to it. I don't force myself to journal, but it's really something that I'm working on, so that it kind of releases tension and kind of negativity in my thought patterns and really helps me to start the day right, so that I can also tick them off as soon as I come back home and feel like I've already achieved a lot on my to-do list, and I do already usually feel better. I would say also, like, kind of scheduling your self-care rituals or your workouts or things that make you feel good will really help you to kind of prioritize them as well. Sometimes we feel like there's so much more that you can do for your school work or your work that sometimes you can feel like it's not a priority, I don't have to do that, but actually you do. It's something that is important for your mental health. And like when I know sitting at my desk that I've already gone for a walk, I've listened to a podcast episode, I feel good, I've moved my body, I've kind of sparked motivation and feel inspired after listening to podcasts or music, I feel better and I'm fine doing my work even on days that I don't feel great or I haven't slept enough or well. It's really important for me. Also, something that I love to do is I used to plan on the notes app on my phone and my computer, but I really realized that it's not working for me great. It was kind of a list form and that's not what I like. So I discovered Notion, I would say a few weeks ago. A YouTuber mentioned it. It's a free online planner and it's absolutely amazing. You can create different kind of lists depending on if one day you're at work or one day you're at school and the other time you're working from home, for example. You can really create a list for different kind of weeks, which I think is amazing. But also you can like work in categories. You can either create kind of a Monday through Friday kind of column organization, or you can do it by a list. It really like helps you to create the list of your dreams kind of. You can use different things like kind of ticking boxes, you can use bullet points, but also an amazing thing is that you can highlight in different colors or write in different colors. And so what I do is that I use a Monday through Friday organization. I do have a column for bonus things to do that I will usually go through at the weekend. And then what I think is working best for me at the moment is having dedicated days. So for example, I will say on Mondays and Tuesdays I will work on my business and that's it. And on Wednesday I will start the morning with doing business work, and then in the afternoon I will work on YouTube content, and then maybe on a Thursday I will only do YouTube content, and then on Friday I will switch it up. It kind of depends on what I have to do and the quantity of work that I have to do, but I feel like it really works well for me to have just one kind of category. And I also make sure to kind of color code everything. At first it can look like there's so many colors, but I swear it really helps, because after that your brain kind of gets used to the colors, associating them with the category. Like for example, for me, my business is in purple, YouTube work is in blue, social media is in pink, and my self-care rituals are in green. And anything else I will usually put in gray. It really helps me to see a structure in my days and in my tasks, and to see what I have to do when. Kind of helps my brain to kind of switch on either work mode or creativity mode, and it really helps. I found that having that done, it really helps me to organize better. Also, the amazing thing with Notion is that you can move things around, which was very annoying for me when I used to do like lists on my phone or on a kind of notebook. I couldn't really move things around too much. It was a bit annoying. Here you click, you drag to whichever day you want to work on that. But also taking things off, you guys, it's just the best feeling ever. So yeah, I've been doing that for a few weeks now and it works wonders for me. I still do to-do lists. I love to-do lists, and I always have one, like a few ones on my phone that I keep, just because sometimes I have a few ideas or a few things pop up in my mind thinking, oh my god, I have to do that, and I don't necessarily have my laptop or my desktop on hand. So what I do is that oh, that's cute. Sorry about that. I have forgotten. And so having those lists really helped me to make sure that I don't forget anything that needs to be done. And I'm a big fan of to-do lists, but I do make sure to have kind of, again, categories on them. I have one for YouTube video ideas, I have one for random things that I need to do, either like personal life or kind of for the apartment or something, and another one for work. I mean, it can feel like a lot of to-do lists, which I agree, it's a lot of to-do lists, but it's the best way that works for me and my brain, I guess. And Then I can go through them when I sit down and create my weekly schedule and go through them to see like, okay, so this I will do that day, this I will do that day. Oh yeah, I need not to forget to do that. And since I have another column of like bonus things to do, I will write them down there just so that I don't forget as well. Another kind of list that I've added to my weekly planner is weekly goals. I found that sometimes I was either procrastinating doing certain things, or sometimes I was just not congratulating myself for doing certain things. Like, you know, taking it off is like, yeah, you've done something great for yourself, and you know, like, go you. So now we're going to talk about organization tips. The first one being, and super important, do you know your productivity peak of the day? That's something that I've learned about not that long ago, but also recognized not long ago. I would say maybe a year ago or something. I used to kind of force myself to be a morning person and not understand why I didn't get much done until like 10, 11 a.m. and would only really start to be super productive and on it from 3 p.m. And that's just because naturally your body works in a certain way. I think there's like 4 or 5 types of time of the day like that you can be productive in. There's a name to it, I can't really remember it. It's kind of associated to animals, I believe. I will link it down below if I remember where it's from. But basically, like, it's totally normal for you to have a specific kind of time slot during the day where you feel productive, you feel on it, and you're really feeling great. For me, I know it's from 3 p.m. That's just how it works. I'm not really a morning person, and so I kind of forced myself year after year to be a morning person and to get things done really in the morning that require me to be thinking thoroughly about something or to be super creative. And when I'm half asleep, I'm not really motivated, I'm not really inspired either. I'm just like maybe content to be here, but it doesn't mean that I'm very on it. And so really knowing that will help you to kind of organize accordingly. Another tip is to kind of, if you're able to, of course, at the beginning of each day, go through your to-do list, see what you have to do that day, but also see what you will be able to do. For example, some days you will just start work and you will not feel 100% because you haven't slept enough, or you're tired, or you're on your period, or you kind of feel a bit low for about like something specific that happened in your personal life. You have this feeling that you won't be able to achieve everything that you want, or that you will be not as efficient or as on it as you could be. I would say when that happens, if you're able to modify your to-do list and push things for another day, if it's not a priority, if there's not a deadline coming, don't force it on yourself. Just because you will probably not do a great work and you will feel useless or like a failure if you don't do that, or you will give it to your boss or your professor and you won't get good feedback. And I would say for you and your mental health, that's better if you kind of push it. It's not procrastinating, it's just knowing when to do things so that you do the best work at it that you can. The last organization tip for this video is create kind of bonus lists of things that you have to do. Like I said, there's one list of things that I'm like, oh, I have to do that, but, or it's not a priority, it's just something that I want to get done, and I'm just like, whenever I will have the time, I can just do that at that time. I love a bonus list. I feel like it's so helpful to have that list of things that you have thought about randomly and that you know that you have to do at some point, and so you always have like something to go to when you don't know what to do, or you have some time, or you're feeling great about something and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. For example, for me, like, I've written down that I want to rework on my thumbnails for my YouTube videos, and I know that, for example, during the week, like my week off for Christmas, I will take some time to do that, and it's something that I love to do. It's something creative, and just having that ticked off in my bonus list, I'm like, ah, I've done even more than I wanted to do. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Do share with me your kind of organization and planning tips in the comments, and Do let me know, do you know your productivity peak? Do you know when during the day you are most productive? And I'd love to know that, because I know that for me I work best in the evening, but I'd love to know other times throughout the day that people are productive. It can be helpful for others to know that they're not alone as well. Maybe it's from 10 p.m. Maybe you're a night owl and that's your moment to shine when everybody is asleep, so that you can get a lot done. And I'd love to know. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and do subscribe. I would love to have you in the fam, and I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.